So here we are at Pop's Wine and Liquor in Knoxville, Tennessee. I got my Got Blandons shirt on. Let's see if they got Blandons. I don't actually want any Blandons. But we're in here to see John Grogan. He is their specialist, bourbon specialist. And whiskey. And liquor. And tequila. And...
This one's mine. Tonight we feast.
So this is Pop's Wine and Liquor in Powell, Tennessee, sort of northwest of Knoxville. It's one of my favourite stores in the area. They always have a good selection and at good prices. Let's go on in. So there's their bourbon selection. That whole wall pretty much is bourbon. Tennessee's not state-controlled pricing, so the selections can be better, and the prices can definitely vary. They can be lower or they can be higher. It really just depends on the market. Looks like they're having a sale on Jefferson's old rum cask there for $69.99. Have not tried the rum cask version of Jefferson. They've got the cask strength High West there, and that even might be a pick. So that could be really interesting. That 4 grain from Lux Row, and the Fay Ranchers are really good. They're one of those grain to glass type things. They own the whole farm, so they do their own grain and make their own whiskey. Gypsy is our man, Eric Church, doing some non-Tennessee whiskey, but that's okay. It's Kentucky. We're a logo. And that Hard Truth, that's really good stuff. If you see some of that, it's always worth picking it up. And that Bonded Rye, that's what I picked up from the store, because I did my rye video that you can see elsewhere, and I realized I'd never actually tried their standard Bonded Rye, so I have that, and we'll give that a go. There's a Sinatra there. They seem to be much more common. $159, and the thing about Sinatra is I always used to say it was too expensive for what it was, but ever since, COVID and everything's just caught up, and now it's actually relatively reasonable. There's the old Popcorn Sutton. Popcorn is a famous bootlegger from around this area. Look them up if you haven't seen them. So that company distilling there, the master distiller there is Jeff Arnett, and he used to be the master distiller at Jack Daniels, and he was instrumental in some of the real, leap forwards that Jack Daniels did with their taster series and, their honey and their fire, which may not be bourbon snobs' idea of good whiskey, but it's what pays the bills at Jack Daniels, I'll tell you that. But he went off and started that company distilling, and yeah, they make a honey version like the honey Jack Daniels, which Jack Daniels doesn't do anymore. There's Sazerac rye back there while I was too busy talking about Jeff's awesomeness. And there's some of that stuff which I don't like, and that stuff, all this stuff up here seems to be Willet, and I'm not a huge fan. Angel's Envy, not bad. Finished, a lot of all finished except for their new bottled in bond, which is exactly like cask strength bottled in bond, which means they needed to get to exactly 100 proof, but also without adding any water. So I had to check these out. It's Tyrone G. So all good stuff, but looking for the CNFs really. Wild Turkey, Maker's Mark, cask strength 101. Now, the other great thing about Pops is they do some fantastic store picks. I just had a Weller Full Proof that was one of the best ever, and then when they're Pops Wine and Liquor, I love it when you call me Big Papa. I've actually tried that one, and it is really good. So here's all the Knob Creeks, the 9, the 10, the Burreye, which I was pretty tempted to pick up, but decided to get the Jack Daniels. And they even had the Knob 12, which starting to see more and more, but still pretty rare and really, really good. That's a good one. Some Granddads and the 114. There's only one bottle of that, so yeah, grab it quick. And the old Chattanoogas, a little bit hit and miss for me, but mostly hits, you know. Some of the Founder stuff I didn't like, and that Pops Wine and Liquor, that is also a fantastic double oak. If I wasn't trying to limit myself to just one bottle, I would definitely pick that up. And that too. I think they have a store pick of the bourbon and the rye, I believe, and both of them are just knock it out of the park. I don't think I mentioned, but they did a Weller foolproof store pick. Obviously, it didn't last long, but it was in there the other week, and it is the most incredible Weller foolproof store pick I've ever had. I'd probably say the best Weller I've ever had. So yeah, these guys definitely know how to pick bourbons. There's the whole Whiskey Row series. Oh, gimbal action. Getting used to my new camera. At least I turned it on this time. Yeah, like that 1910, 1920. Cannot go wrong with that if you're, you know, into bourbon. Some Larceny. Do not like the standard Larceny much. And some toasted barrel. They got a toasted barrel rye. Don't think I saw it there, but you know, it's good. It's fine, but nothing really crazy good. Some Uncle Nearest there, and some Dickel, some cheaper Dickel. 1783. That's good stuff. I think we'll talk about that in a bit. And some old Overholt. This Monongahela mash. So this is getting back to the roots of old Overholt and the Pennsylvania style rye. It's 80% Monongahela rye and 20% malted barley. So that's a new mash bill. Well, a new old mash bill. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. They're going back to the all rye, no corn. There's some they have bullet, some honey, some bottom shelf stuff down there. That old fashioned, oh man, that's one of the best old fashions you can get. Barrel aged Buffalo Trace whiskey. Don't really know what. Don't know if it is Buffalo Trace, but from their distillery, and yeah, aged in barrels. So here's their Scotch selection for the people into that. Good selection of Scotch, and well, we're in Tennessee, so you got to have some old smoky moonshine. All the different flavors and colors. Look at that. Eggnog, Eggo's waffle flavored moonshine. Man, you can get anything. And yeah, good selection of Benchmark in Tennessee. It was a bit short there for a while, but it's all sort of come back now. Never really got into the Benchmark stuff, but should give it a go, I suppose, shouldn't I? Might as well. Leave a comment if I should give it a go. So here's some of their store picks. Like I say, they do some fantastic store picks. Every one of these is probably a banger. That one definitely is one of the best. Jack Daniels one, you can go into a chance to win that pretty sweet decanter there. That would be pretty cool to win. And yeah, Pops Wine and Liquor, and there's that big Papa one. So John was kind enough to get on camera and talk a bit about Pops and what you should and shouldn't buy. So let's listen to
John from Pops Liquor. How's it going?
How you doing, Dave? Thanks for coming in, brother.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
So you are the bourbon expert, and
Yeah, well, yeah, bourbon experts, beer, cocktails. Those are kind of my specialties. Tequila, you can see that.
oh
there.
yeah, that's
There's the burning, the charring of the barrel.
that's dedication.
That is dedication, man. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
You know, and I think going to the liquor store should be a pleasant, enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
You know.
So if
And
people
we-
don't know what they want exactly, you can sort of push them
Well,
into
exactly.
the.
That's what I see my job as being. My job is to help you find what you like.
Yeah.
You know, and understand why you like it. That way you can find more of what you like.
And you don't have the chestnut farms you're going to push on people like some of the larger stores.
No. No, we're not selling our own brands. You know, I want you to be happy with what you purchase.
Yeah.
So I want to help you understand and define your own palate. You know, that way you can discover it's a journey.
Yeah.
You know, I love it, man. I have had so much fun working here. So, you know, our emphasis is having fun, being educational.
So what do you guys do for like allocations and stuff like that? How do you normally do that?
Well, honestly, we sell through relationship. Like if I recognize you, I know you're a loyal customer. You know, you don't have to be exclusive.
Yeah.
But you know, this is your primary liquor store, so we don't do lotteries. We don't do point systems. We don't do drops. You know, and sometimes we actually have the allocated items on the shelf. I call those Easter eggs, especially around the holidays. The owner may place things out. Like, I mean, we've had, I'd say just a week or two ago, we had Weller 12 on the shelf. That's a rarity, but sometimes that happens.
So you even have some good stuff, like you got the Knob 12 there, which is like not exactly.
Yeah, we don't get that one often. So we have that one, and then we had I don't know if we still have it down here. It was that Remus, that Babe Ruth. You remember that expression? Yes. We had that on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't want to make our customers jump through hoops.
Yeah.
You know, like if we know you, we
shop here
get to know you, we'll take care of you.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, and like I said, often we don't have it on the shelves. We may have it in the back, and you just ask, say, do you have anything special back there?
Cool.
If we know you, and we'll do what we can.
So anything else you would pick out for somebody that was into starting out on bourbon?
Like just a starter?
Yeah, just a starter.
I'd say if I were just starting, I would start with the lower proof. You know, I'd say maybe like a 90. Here's a good starter. I recommend this a lot when people are coming in, the 1783.
Oh yeah.
So 90 proof.
$20.
Yeah, $20, and it's good. It's not cheap. It's not bottom shelf. This is a good everyday bourbon. It's always available. So that would be a good starter. If you're starting with rye, you know, I'm a big rye. I actually enjoy rye more than I do the bourbon.
Yep.
So if you're starting with the rye
or die on Instagram.
That's it, man. 67. What's a good rye to start with? This was a good one here, especially at the price.
Yeah, Old Forester.
100 proof. You know, for $25, and I believe that's a liter. So you're actually getting a little bit more than you would.
$25 for a liter, yeah. That's not bad at all.
You know, and I try to help people understand the differences between a rye and a bourbon and a wheated bourbon, you know, a high rye bourbon. I just help them understand the options. You know, I tell them, here's a beginner. You know, I tell them, if you understand 3 things about whiskey: proof, age, mash bill. Those are starters, you know, and then you can get into other things like yeast and all those intricate details. But just as a building block, proof, age, mash bill.
Awesome.
So if you understand those things, you know why.
Well, thanks a lot, John. Thanks for the time.
My pleasure, brother. Thanks for coming in, Dave.
So yeah, great store, great people. Going to Pops Wine and Liquor, see if John's in there. If not, everybody else in there is really cool too. So on to the next one. I think we're at about 13 minutes on this hunt, so that's probably long enough for this one, and we'll save the rest for another day. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.